Live from New Delhi, you're watching DD India Live, India's voice to the world. I'm Tanvi Taneja, coming up in the next 30 minutes. India to host 7th meeting of the Colombo Security Conclave in New Delhi. National security advisors from 6 countries across the Indian Ocean region to discuss key regional security issues. Nitish Kumar to take oath as Chief Minister of Eastern Indian state of Bihar for a record 10th time in the presence of Prime Minister Narendra Modi. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky to hold talks with senior US military officials in Kyiv. Talks focus on efforts to end more than 3.5-year-old Russia-Ukraine conflict. The 56th International Film Festival of India, IFFI, to begin in Goa. Over 240 films from 81 countries to be showcased in the 9-day-long extravaganza. And Indian shooters continue to shine at the 25th Deaflympics in Tokyo. Abhinav, Deshwal and Pranjali, Prashant, Dhumal clinched gold in the 10-meter air pistol mixed event, taking the medal tally to 11. India is hosting the 7th meeting of the Colombo Security Conclave. National security advisors in New Delhi today, bringing together key regional partners to strengthen security cooperation in the Indian Ocean region. National Security Advisor of India, Ajit Dhumal, will chair the discussions with his counterparts from Maldives, Mauritius, Sri Lanka and Bangladesh. Seychelles will join as an observer, while Malaysia participates as a special guest. The conclave focuses on cooperation across key pillars: maritime security, counter-terrorism, cyber security, transnational crime and disaster relief. The meeting will review progress and outline the action plan and roadmap for 2026. The previous NSA meeting took place in Mauritius in 2023, followed by the signing of its founding documents in Sri Lanka in 2024. Deputy NSAs have also held regular round of talks, most recently online in July last year. Prime Minister Narendra Modi will be visiting Johannesburg, South Africa from 21st to 23rd of November to attend the 20th G20 Leaders Summit. This will be the 4th consecutive G20 summit held in the Global South. On the margins of the summit, the Prime Minister is expected to hold meetings with some world leaders. The Prime Minister will also be taking part in the India-Brazil-South Africa Leaders Meeting being hosted by South Africa. India has expanded its visa-on-arrival facility for the UAE nationals to include Cochin, Calicut and Ahmedabad international airports, adding to the existing centres in New Delhi, Mumbai, Kolkata, Chennai, Bengaluru, Hyderabad and Kochi. With this move, UAE citizens now have access to visa-on-arrival at 9 major entry points across India. The facility is available exclusively to UAE nationals who have previously obtained an Indian e-visa or a regular paper visa. Travellers are required to fill out the visa-on-arrival application along with a disembarkation card. UAE citizens arriving in India under this scheme may stay for up to 60 days. The visa allows double entry within the 60-day period. The facility is not available. Visa-on-arrival facility is not available to any UAE national whose parents or grandparents were born in or are permanent residents of Pakistan. Such travellers must apply for an appropriate visa. The fee for visa-on-arrival remains 2,000 rupees or equivalent in foreign currency for each passenger, including children. Australia's Foreign Minister, Senator Penny Wong, will hold talks with External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar on Thursday. This will be the 26th meeting between the two leaders. Both countries are expected to enhance cooperation across cyber and strategic technology, trade, maritime security and defence, among other areas. The visiting Foreign Minister, along with Dr. S. Jaishankar, will also co-chair the 16th Foreign Ministers Framework Dialogue. The high-level meeting marks a significant step in advancing India-Australia Comprehensive Strategic Partnership. Secretary West Sanjay Sibi George co-chaired the 6th India-EU Strategic Partnership Review meeting with Oliver Bailey, Acting Deputy Secretary-General for Economic and Global Issues at the European External Action Service. The discussions covered the full spectrum of the India-EU Strategic Partnership, progress on a new joint comprehensive strategic agenda and preparations for the upcoming India-EU Summit. Nitish Kumar will take oath as the Chief Minister of Bihar for a record 10th time on Thursday. Several key dignitaries, including Prime Minister Narendra Modi, Home Minister Amit Shah, BJP National President JP Nadda and other key NDA allies will attend the swearing-in ceremony at the historic Gandhi Maidan in Patna. Nitish staked claim to form the next government after being elected the leader of the NDA legislature party in Bihar on Wednesday, with Samrat Chaudhary being chosen as the leader of the BJP legislature party and Vijay Kumar Sinha elected his deputy. The NDA registered a landslide victory in Bihar, winning 202 out of 243 seats, dealing a huge blow to the opposition Mahagathbandhan alliance. In a major breakthrough against international cybercrime and human trafficking, the Gujarat Cyber Centre of Excellence has arrested a mastermind behind a cyber slavery network operating across Southeast Asian countries. DD India spoke to Superintendent of Police Dr. Rajdeep Singh Jhala, who led the Cyber Centre team to make this arrest possible.
The entire work of our Cyber Centre of Excellence has been started since our Government of India, with the intervention of Ministry of External Affairs and Ministry of Home Affairs, with the help of Thailand and Myanmar Army and Police. We have brought our 4,000 packs back to India, relieved from cyber slavery. So we have studied most of the statement of Gujarat victims, and through that we were able to know that some person named Neil is the mastermind of this entire cyber slavery network. Apart from that, we got another two names. One was Hitesh Somaya and one was this Sonal Faldu. And through technical analysis, deep search, OSINT and IP analysis, our team has nabbed him while he was traveling to Malaysia from Ahmedabad airport.
India's Environment, Forest and Climate Change Minister Bhupendra Yadav met with Cuba's Minister of Science and Technology and Environment, Dr. C. Armando Rodriguez Batista, on the sidelines of the COP30 in Belém today. In a social media post, Yadav said, their discussions involved matters related to potential collaboration in the area of renewable energy. Cuba, as a member of like-minded developing countries, is also a signatory of Coalition for Disaster Resilient Infrastructure and International Solar Alliance, where India has provided technical expertise through the International Solar Alliance for solar project development and implementation in Cuba. Both sides held talks on further collaborating through these platforms. Bhupendra Yadav also held a meeting with China's Special Envoy for Climate Change, Liu Chenmin, in Belém. Their discussions involved matters related to coordination between like-minded developing countries in the ongoing developments in COP30, with particular focus on maintaining the integrity of the Paris Agreement. The 56th International Film Festival of India will kick-start on 20th of November with a grand opening parade. DD India's Deepika Mehto gets us an exclusive report from Goa on how it is gearing up for the mega event.
The only film festival in South Asia accredited by International Federation of Film Producers Associations is all set to witness its yet another dynamic edition in Goa. Jointly organized each year by National Film Development Corporation, Ministry of Information and Broadcasting, Government of India and the Entertainment Society of Goa, along with the Government of Goa, IFFI aims to bring together the world of cinema under one roof. This year will be even more special with a different and grand opening parade that will witness vibrant floats, cultural performances and a spectacular procession led by cultural troupes, production houses and the state government. Apart from that, the parade will also witness the felicitation of noted actor N. Balakrishna for his remarkable contribution to the Indian cinema. The 9-day cinematic extravaganza will feature 240 films from 81 countries. Japan remains the country of focus, whereas Spain is the partner country and Australia as the spotlight country. These are leading this year's international collaborations. Key highlights include restored classics, centenary tributes and curated global sections. Expanded Waves Film Bazaar provides a platform of creative exchange under a single roof. IFFI 2025 will also witness IFFI for seamless entertainment. The debut Cinema AI Hackathon hosted by the Waves Film Bazaar in partnership with the National Film Development Corporation. Now, along with this, masterclasses, panels and knowledge series will also take place. The Creative Minds of Tomorrow, or the CMOT program, with 799 entries this year and 124 selected participants, represents 13 filmmaking crafts. Indian Panorama and New Horizons is also to watch out for, along with women, their debut voices and emerging talent. Interestingly, IFFI 2025 will also honor legendary actor Rajnikant for completing 50 years in cinema, marking a milestone that celebrates the closing ceremony. First ever parade with cultural floats and the participation of production houses, IFFI, Creative Minds of Tomorrow, Waves Film Bazaar, this and a lot more is all set to begin at the 56th edition of International Film Festival of India here in Goa. We'll keep updating you with all the latest with our special broadcast on DD India. So stay tuned with us. With camera person Senthil, this is Deepika reporting for DD India from IFFI, Goa.
Still to come on this edition of DD India Live. Bangladesh Supreme Court to deliver verdict on the caretaker government today. Donald Trump vows to end Sudan's grinding civil war at the request of Saudi Arabia's Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman. And Meta to remove all Australians under the age of 16 from Facebook and Instagram on December 4th.
India did not agree that Hindus and Muslims could not live together. This was a birth of a country or two countries, but it was a birth that was also an abortion because you were literally killing this country that was being born at that point. Every time a Muslim came to prominence in India, President of India, Chief Justice of India, cricket captains, whatever, it was a standing rebuke of the very Pakistani idea. If a Muslim could achieve all this in India, then why did Pakistan need to be created?
Welcome back. You're watching DD India Live. I am Tanvi Taneja. The Supreme Court of Bangladesh is set to deliver its verdict on the appeals over the caretaker government system on Thursday. Earlier on November 11th, a 7-member bench of the Bangladesh Apex Court headed by Chief Justice Syed Rafat Ahmed concluded the hearing and fixed November 20th for delivering the verdict on the appeals and review petitions. During the hearing, the lawyers for the appellants, petitioners and the state prayed to the top court to overturn its 2011 judgment and restore the non-party caretaker government system to the constitution for holding free and fair elections and to establish democracy in Bangladesh. Following the 2011 verdict, Parliament passed the 15th Amendment, formally abolishing the caretaker arrangement. The decision is significant as it could potentially restore the non-party caretaker government system for national elections, which was abolished more than a decade ago. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky is set to meet top United States military officials in Kyiv on Thursday, including Army Secretary Daniel Driscoll and the Chief of Staff General Randy George, on a fact-finding mission to revive peace efforts in the Russia-Ukraine conflict, now over 3.5 years old. The high-stakes talks follow Zelensky's fruitless Turkey visit and coincide with Russia's massive overnight strikes in Ternopil's apartment blocks that spiked toxic chlorine levels 6-fold, while blackouts gripped western regions ahead of winter. United Nations officials decried the terror as Moscow advances slowly on the front. Meanwhile, U.S. Army Secretary Daniel Driscoll and Army Chief of Staff General Randy George met senior Ukrainian officials in Kyiv on Wednesday. The United States Embassy described the visit as a fact-finding mission. Defense Minister Denis Shamlal and Commander-in-Chief General Alexander Skrisky briefed the delegation on Russian troop build-up, ongoing offensives and massive missile attacks in civilian areas. Discussions focused on strengthening Ukraine's air defenses, long-range strike capabilities, unmanned systems and personnel training. As per sources, the United States has signaled Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky that Ukraine must accept an American-drafted peace framework requiring Kyiv to permanently cede Crimea and all Russian-occupied territories, reduce its armed forces from over 900,000 to 400,000 personnel and relinquish all long-range weapons. The proposal reportedly contains no explicit Russian concessions in return. And in the latest, U.S. President Donald Trump has signed the bill demanding the Justice Department release its files on the convicted late sex offender Jeffrey Epstein. The material could shed more light on the activities of Epstein, who socialized with Trump and other notable figures before his 2008 conviction on charges of soliciting a minor for prostitution. Although Trump's signature does not guarantee the file's release, the bill contains exemptions and the investigation that Trump demanded into Democrats' ties to Epstein, which as per sources could give the department another reason to keep them confidential. U.S. President Donald Trump vowed to end Sudan's grinding civil war at the request of Saudi Arabia's Crown Prince, condemning tremendous atrocities in a conflict he has previously overlooked. Trump admitted that the devastating war between Sudan's army and the paramilitary rapid support forces was not on his charts before Prince Mohammed bin Salman pushed him to get involved. But Trump said he would now work to stabilize the conflict with regional powers, notably including the United Arab Emirates.
I thought it was just something that was crazy and out of control. Sudan, and we're going to start working in Sudan. I didn't think that that was one that was going to be so easy to do, but we're going to start working.
The United Nations has repeatedly called for greater global attention to the war, which has killed tens of thousands of people and displaced nearly 12 million since its outbreak in April 2023. Sudan's Saudi-backed Sovereign Council, which is headed by Army Chief Abdel Fattah al-Burhan, said that it was ready to cooperate with the United States and Riyadh. In a statement, the Council thanked Washington and Riyadh for their continued efforts to stop Sudanese bloodshed. On to Nepal now, where the National Human Rights Commission urged all not to make public speeches that jeopardize peace and security. Issuing a press statement, NHRC urged all sides to be cautious on the free expression in relation to national security and peace. NHRC informed that it monitored the arrest of campaigner Durga Prasad and garnered information from the Kathmandu District Police Range, Bhadrakali, campaigner Prasad and related police officials. Durga Prasad was arrested from his residence in Bhaktapur for making statements that could cause violence and public disorder. Prasad had been released earlier by the court after his arrest following the violent protest in Tinkune on 28th of March 2025, which killed 2 and injured 45. Recently, he had been planning another movement with demands such as loan waivers and support for pro-monarchy activities on November 23rd. And on to business news now. A relief rally swept across Asian markets and lifted stocks in early trading on Thursday as investors cheered Nvidia's market-topping earnings, while the dollar rose as traders braced for the release of delayed jobs data. Stocks on Wall Street snapped a 4-day losing streak on Wednesday before the earnings release. All 3 major indices rebounded from the sell-off as the world's most valuable companies' earnings report tempered the AI valuation fears that had triggered the rout. The US dollar index, which tracks the greenback strength against a basket of 6 major peers, advanced 0.1%, hovering close to a 2-week high. The yield on benchmark 10-year Treasury notes rose to 4.1% compared with its US close of 4.13% on Wednesday. Meta announced on Thursday that all Australians under 16 will be removed from Facebook, Instagram and Threads starting December 4th, ahead of a new national laws taking effect on December 10th that requires social media platforms to block underage users or face major fines. Meta said it has begun alerting users aged 13 to 15 that their accounts will soon be inaccessible and will only be restored when they turn 16. Around 500,000 accounts fall in this age group. Teens flagged incorrectly can verify their age through a video selfie or an official ID. Meta criticized the rules as vague and unnecessary, arguing that cutting teens off from online communities is not the solution. Australia's tough approach is drawing global attention, though experts warn that the enforcement may prove difficult. And on to sports news from India. Indian shooters continued their impressive performance, securing more medals at the 25th Deaflympics in Tokyo, Japan. Today, the duo of Abhinav Deshwal and Pranjali Prashant Dhumal clinched gold in the 10-meter air pistol mixed event by defeating Ya Ju Kwao and Ming Jui Su of Chinese Taipei 16-6 in the final. Meanwhile, Kushagra Singh Rajawat won bronze in the 50-meter rifle prone competition. With the win, India's medal tally in the shooting has climbed to 11. On to chess. India's challenge at the FIDE World Cup came to an end after Grandmaster Arjun Ergyasi went down to Wei Yi of China in the quarter-final tie-break in Goa. Ergyasi was the only Indian left in the fray. The 22-year-old went for the French defence in the first tie-break game with black, and it looked like the Indian was in trouble in the middle game. But Wei's error allowed Arjun to mount a comeback and ensure that the game ended in a draw. Ergyasi needed to break Wei's Petrov defence to find a win in the second game with white, but the Chinese stuck to his plan and ended India's hopes after 79 moves. And with that, it's a wrap on this edition of DD India Live. Do let us know your thoughts on the news of the day. Connect with us on our different social media handles at DD India Live. And you can also download our DD India mobile app for quick news and updates on the go. We'll be back with more news as it breaks here on DD India. I'm Tanvi Taneja from all of us here in New Delhi. Thank you for watching. Namaskar.